Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, adults like mac and cheese too. It's like I have two private investigators and I'm the one being investigated. Staying with my parents is a nightmare. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Adults like mac and cheese too. This just happened. I was at grocery store getting their hot bar for lunch and noticed there was about a single scoop of macaroni and cheese left. I love mac and cheese. I already had it on the serving spoon on its way to my box when a mom with her 7 to 8-year-old kid marched up and said to me, "You're really taking the last of the macaroni?" She gestured to her daughter, implying I should let her kid have it instead. I just smiled and replied, "Yes I am," boxed up my food and walked away. No verbal response from mom and kid, but mom was staring daggers. Mac and cheese was as delicious as always. Had a chuckle. On a side note, I stopped by to have a short visit with my elderly parents. Just so happens that they had gotten takeaway from Panera's. My 85-year-old dad got mac and cheese in a bread bowl. Mac and cheese is awesome. In Australia, we call that a cob loaf, which you can put lots of different fillings in. Mac and cheese is a good choice. My new goal in life is to make it to 85 and order mac and cheese in a bread bowl and dare anyone to look at me sideways. I know it'll make me feel bad after I eat it, it's terribly unhealthy, but who cares, I'm 85. Like the store couldn't possibly make any more. There definitely is more, but they will usually wait until dinner time to put it out. If she wanted it right then though, can you imagine the Karen-ness that conversation would entail? "Excuse me, I know you have more mac and cheese in the back. Bring it out because my daughter wants it now." They probably literally had some ready to go in. All they had to do was ask somebody. I haven't seen a hot bar or salad bar in a grocery store since 2020. This makes me miss them. They've been back in my neck of the woods for about a year now. I definitely was wary at first, but have succumbed to the ease and mac and cheese. Whole Foods. Yes, whole paycheck at the deli counter, too. I would have added, use your words and ask the employee to make a fresh batch. By EE. They would just bring the bag out warm and up and put in a trough. At my niece's wedding they had a kids' table for food. That was the only table with mac and cheese. My brother went in and got some mac and cheese. The waiter tried to stop him. He said, "Sir, this is the children's table." My brother said, "I'm paying for the children's table. Put some mac and cheese out for the adults." They did, and it didn't last long at all. At my sister's wedding they had mac and cheese, super dry chicken, and some other disgusting sides. The mac and cheese was the only thing edible and I ate a bunch of it. That's like the only edible side at brisket joints in Texas. Gordon Ramsay has stated that, of all the gourmet foods he's both cooked and eaten in his life, nothing will ever top his mother's mac and cheese. If anything, she could have asked politely. No one is responsible for feeding her kid except her. You're at a grocery store, go buy a box of Kraft and make it at home for the kid if it's so important. To be frank, I still wouldn't have given it to her if she asked me, "Pretty please with sugar on top." It was literally already in the spoon and about to be put into my to-go box. That mac was claimed, LOL. Mac and cheese are for everyone. I live close to a restaurant where mac and cheese is the main thing. There is no age limit on mac and cheese. Anything that thinks there is must be miserable. It's like I have two private investigators and I'm the one being investigated. Some background. My mother, divorced, has always been known to have some issues with letting go. She recently seemed to be loosening up, so I didn't think much of it. I myself am 20 and regularly switch between living at my father or mother. The situation. Recently, due to work, I've been flipping my schedule upside down more. From waking up early and sleeping early to waking up at 2 p.m. and arriving back from work at 12 a.m. or later. This has also made my active times swap more to midnight to early morning. One day I decided to post a tweet at around 4 a.m. under a name I haven't told anyone in my family about. It was just a mention of an artist I was listening to a lot and nothing special. Not even a week later, my father got an email explaining I've been sending messages on Twitter at 4 a.m. He was nice enough to show me that email. Luckily, that's how I found out. Considering she doesn't even use Twitter and the fact I haven't told anyone in my family circle about my online name or alias, I was very surprised when I found the attached image of said tweet. Of course, my father has given me the casual "don't be up late" talk, but nothing much. I decided to question my mother about this, however. When I asked her how she knew my online name or alias and if she even used Twitter, I received this response: "I don't use Twitter. I don't know how to. But a friend of mine sent me a screenshot of you tweeting at 4 a.m. Visibly confused, I asked her how they knew and who that person was. She refused to answer that no matter what. So I now know I'm online being watched for when I tweet late. But it gets worse. That event made me remember another event in this same year. Just for the sake of context, energy drinks are not allowed to be brought in her home. So whenever I do drink it, I do so outside. One day she showed me a picture someone took of me while driving in their car, which showed me exactly doing that. That happened a few times before too. When I asked her about the Twitter email, I also asked her, was that the same person as that is watching me drink energy? And who are they? All she did was smile and say no, they are not the same. Refusing to tell me both who it was and the reasoning. When I asked her to stop, she merely ignored. It's like I have two private investigators and I'm the one being investigated. It honestly creeps me out knowing I'm watched both online and IRL by multiple people, and they could be anywhere and anyone. Even if it's just casual activities, they could be photographing me anyway. I have no idea what to do or how to get it to stop. I'm 20 years old, at some point you accept her to let go. But apparently it only gets worse. Mom, either stop trying to fucking follow me everywhere I go and monitor everything I fucking do, or I'm gone and staying with my father. I don't care what you do, I'm 20, you can't stop me from staying there, and if you try, father will know. Trey's saying this. Perhaps I should. Might word it a bit different. On the other hand, I perhaps shouldn't word it differently. Feel like I've been too patient with her. Problem is, Dad knows and is enabling it. And the fact he thinks he has the right to tell a 20-year-old when they are allowed to sleep/use social media, tells me he agrees with the mom. Both parents are monitoring him. Since he is an adult, it's stalking. He needs to tell them they must quit now, or he will file a police report against them. I'd use your Twitter to start posting my mother is asking me to go no contact with her. She has no boundaries and is wishing to never meet the love of my life or the children I will have. Also start posting about a visa application to another country. If your mother wants to play psychological games, join in on the fun. Also start posting about her activities. Turn it right around on her, or just start posting selfies exclusively of you on the shitter. Make it really uncomfortable for her and her flying monkeys to be following you. There might be spyware on your device, and that's how she found out. I would check it to be on the safe side. You should check your phone and computers for spyware, or a keylogger, or some other way she might be tracking you. Who pays for your phone? Your mom? Doing that right now. I paid for my own phone and the phone services. Although she did force me to tell her my code to my phone, and I have to lay my phone on her room when I'm going to sleep at her desired bedtime. Can't have my phone on my room. I'd start posting about your batcrap crazy mom and her loser friends who have nothing else to do with their life other than to spy on you. This is way too creepy. Your mother is way out of line. Sounds like your dad is better, but it's interesting she sent him the email. I wonder if she sent him emails about the other incidents and he's in on it, if only somewhat. Maybe he knows more about who these people might be. Taking a photo of you drinking an energy drink? And her smiling and saying no, it was someone different. This is way off. Try to live with your father full time. Don't go into detail, just say you feel more comfortable there. If possible, it would be better to not live with either of them. Maybe somewhere a few hours, at least, from where they live. Staying with my parents is a nightmare. So, during the process of getting a divorce, 36M, and getting possession of my new place, I've got about a month or so. My mother graciously invited me to stay with her and my father during this process. I'm staying in my childhood bedroom, which has been converted into a guest room, despite the fact that I'm the only guest they've had. My father will randomly open the door that has no lock on it and just take a few quick glances around and then eventually leave when he realizes I'm just doing stuff on my laptop. No privacy, I have no guests at their place, and whenever I make myself food, they get mad and make comments over the mess. I'm a red sealed chef, I clean as I go. It's ingrained into my body and soul. The messes they get mad at will be water droplets from the dishes and utensils I clean as food cooks, and when I'm eating my meals I'll get yelled at for leaving for a mess, not realizing I'd like to eat my meals hot as I had just finished cooking them, and I'll clean afterwards. I'm paying them for my stay at their place, being very respectful, but it was my mother who invited me in the first place. At this point, the hassle of making food, and just trying to exist, yes, they're wanting to charge me a ridiculous amount for utilities, is getting more expensive than just living in a motel for a month. My father confronted me about how much I'm on my phone and laptop, saying I need to pay them for internet usage. I tried to explain that internet bills don't work that way unless it's off your wireless plan, and if he wanted his service charge to be lower, perhaps reduce his cable package, as he only really watches local news, the Weather Channel and the Sports Channel, which he could easily stream off his phone and just buy a Chromecast onto a TV. The last nail in the coffin is that I want to be respectful and not eat their food, so I get my own, but I'm getting harassed for taking a very small portion of their fridge and freezer. When I brought this up, they told me to buy a mini fridge, but it couldn't be in the house, it would have to be outside. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm at wit's end right now, sorry for the rant. Are there any cheap long-term hotels or Airbnbs around? Honestly, they're stuck in the dependent child-parent relationship and are freaking mean-spirited cheapskates. I have said I'd sleep on a freaking park bench before I lived with my parents ever again, and I mean it. I hope you can get away ASAP. It sounds like they are expecting you to pay for most of their stuff, while they treat you like a little kid. Time to show them that you are no longer a little kid and will not tolerate their BS. Go find yourself either a hotel or an Airbnb to stay at, where you can cook what you like when you like and do what you want when you feel like it, including bringing over friends. If they ask why, let them know that if you are going to have to pay the same amount as a hotel/Airbnb, then you might as well stay in one and not have to deal with their crazy demands and be treated like a child. I would be in an Airbnb or at an extended stay motel ASAP. Sorry, but there doesn't appear to be anything gracious in their treatment of a paying tenant. Ask them how much value they place on their relationship with you. If they ask why, explain you want to know how much to charge them this month. I see why you have been the only guest they have had. Just up and go stay in a motel. Don't make a big announcement, just be gone. Then, when they make contact, ask them why they think you left. Then set them straight, in calm forensic detail. This is the way. They have made your stay there intolerable. Just go. They are treating you like a 5-year-old. You owe them nothing. I'd be looking for somewhere else to stay. I lived with my sister and her family for a couple months after I sold my house, until my new place was ready. I'd rather be homeless and living at Girl Scout camp than do that again. I'm very much a homebody and don't like people in my business. Plus, I learned more about their family than I really wanted to know. Leave. Don't pay them any more money and just leave. An Airbnb or hotel will be better. If not cheaper, it will at least be free of nagging pests. And the doors lock. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.